the difference between you and me is that you actually studied computer science in university. I studied business economics, which was a big mistake because I did not ever use any of this knowledge at all. And I mean zero. It was a complete waste of time, but I didn't really know what to do with myself at this time. But you made the right decision. You studied computer science, or I mean, I want to ask you, was it the right decision? Are there any bad things about studying computer science? Do you feel it was worth it? And what is your review on this whole thing?
So first of all, I haven't fully decided yet for myself if it was worth it. And this also, of course, only reflects my experience. There are people who probably should study, definitely, and for whom that's the best thing. For me, I'm still struggling if that was the right decision. One reason why I'm struggling is that you do learn a lot of stuff that is literally of no significance for the practical life of being a software developer. Is maybe important if you want to go into science, then there is no way around university. But I want to become a programmer. I want to develop software, and you need to be aware that it's computer science. You will learn a lot of scientific concepts that you can directly apply in practice. And you just very often sit there and you don't know why you learn a specific topic and why you don't learn a topic that is much more important. For example, in university, I never really learned testing software. And whoever senior developer you ask, they will say testing is such an important skill. And we just wrote unit tests on a piece of paper. So I don't really know why we don't dive deeper into that and maybe do less of the logic theory. I don't remember anything of that because I don't use it in my everyday life. So that is what I didn't like about university. What I liked is that you can learn having a good structure in your day because nobody tells you what you should do when. And that was a good foundation to actually also dive into self-employment. And that is probably the biggest advantage for me. I just had a lot of time building my brand and building my self-employment. So if I wouldn't have that university time and I was employed in that time instead, I would obviously have much less time and I could probably not live from that, at least for now.
So the time while you study, it gives you a little bit of freedom if you are smart with how you use your time.
You definitely have time next to university. If not, you're doing something wrong.
But the bottom line is that it's very theoretical, right? And not much practical knowledge.
It's very theoretical, yes. So we wrote one software project in my whole university.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's basically the complete opposite to what we try to do when we, when we try to get employed, right? We try to put real projects on GitHub and show that we can do real stuff. Although having a degree probably still helps with getting employed if this is your goal, because it's a piece of paper that says that you know about computer science.
Yeah, I think it helps, but I also think that it's not necessary, at least today. Maybe that was the case 15 years ago and your parents tell you that, but I don't think nowadays you have to have it. It helps, but you can also prove what you know with other ways.
Yeah, I think it also depends on the country. I actually don't know how it is in Germany. I could imagine that in Germany they are a bit more old school when it comes to that and want to see a degree, but I'm not sure. And you mentioned parents. This is often the biggest part of this decision to go to university because your parents think that this is the best. It's a bit, there are generations that come together that are so different. Times have really changed, and often the stuff that your parents told you is not timely anymore. This is really a problem because you don't really know how to decide. But I would say if you're young and computer science interests you, then I would probably also study it if I was at that age again, and it's my interest, even just for getting a bit deeper into this topic and just for enjoying it and having this degree, I would probably still decide to study computer science.
Yeah, it definitely also helps to just get a good general understanding of computers. So, of course, in computer science, you learn a lot about computers and tech in general, and not only programming. And that often helps you with programming because you can easier connect different topics, I think.
Yeah, that's an argument I often hear actually, that it's called computer science for a reason and not programming, because you're not actually really supposed to learn real programming there.
But that is what most people think they will only learn.
Yeah, that's
I would say it's about 1/3 is about programming concepts.
Yeah, but I assume that learning computer science is also interesting, although probably not as much fun as writing actual code.
I think it's also very, very dependent on who you are. There are a lot of people who just enjoy studying, and especially you can also find other people who do the same thing as you, and that is also valuable. A lot of people find friends for life when studying.
Yeah.
I found them in school, but not in university. But I hear that very often, and that is also quite an important thing.
Yeah, and you learn some social skills.
Yes.
When you have to go get along with other people your age.
And of course, this is now also specific to my university. I can't speak for any other universities because I haven't been there, obviously.